Yo, what's up? The Usual Words Podshow. This is a quick Thursday talk. Mighty Moolah here. Jam Mood on Facebook. King Dukes. And King Dukes is not in right now. He's not on right now. But just a quick Thursday talk, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Um, so yeah, just on here real quick. Just kind of actually been communicating with a lot of people concerning just kind of what's been going on, you know what I mean? This week and this month. So yeah, just doing the Usual Words Pod show, a quick Thursday talk. Um on YouTube, Usual Words Podcast, the Usual Words Podcast on YouTube. Also the Usual Words Pod Show on Facebook and the Usual Words Pod Show. You can view the stream live on or when we go live in our recordings on Jamu page and the Usual Words Pod Show page on Facebook and on YouTube, the Usual Words Podcast. So hope my volume is good, but yeah, didn't want nothing much. Just got on here to just kind of shoot the breeze with everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Man, it's been some wild times. I know it's a lot of things going on in the country, in the world. But we want to use our words, man, to be uplifting, trying to stay positive as much as possible. Um, Lean on those who have that ability to give you some positivity. You know what I mean? To enlighten rather than bring kind of a cloudiness to your life, especially if things are already, life be lifing, man. You know what I mean? So it's best to be able to deal with people and have relationships that you can lean on to just be uplifting, encouraging. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what this is just a Thursday talk, just from our platform, the Usual Words Pod Show. And just to be uplifting, man, just for me to encourage those who are going through. If you're a government employee, we're in the middle of a government shutdown right now. What up, dog? I see I getting a text right now. But yeah, so we got that going on, but all is well. For those who have been furloughed, or you in a certain status where you still working and you still having to work and you just not getting paid, which is pretty much my status at this point. Just finding ways to be thankful, man. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of things that are going on that can make you real cynical, that can make you real afraid, fearful, that test your faith in whatever it is you believe in. Hopefully it's the Most High, the one and only true God. Jesus Daddy. That's what I'm talking about. But I know it can be difficult. So I just, what I'm saying, we're just encouraging. Use my words and use our words to be encouraging to try to do as best as possible and our very best to, give people grace, be patient as much as possible with folk, because a lot of folk hurting. There's a lot of folk hurting and they're uncertain about if they're gonna make it or not. You know what I mean? And that can be a tough space to be in. I've been there. Everything is not always sunshine and roses and rainbows, whatever. But at the same time, those times where you feel like it's dark, or if it feels like you're going through it, those are times that when you go through it, once you go through it, you experience the fact that you experience what joy is, you experience what overcoming is. You know what I mean? So stick with it. You tough. You got what you made of the right stuff for this time to make it through. You know what I mean? So don't have really much to say. You know what I mean? I'm just on here. Wanted to put this a Thursday talk out here, a quick little live stream. I don't know how many get on. It was unexpected, so I understand if it's not many viewers, but hopefully somebody will come back and view it. We appreciate all the support for the Usual Words Podshow. King Dukes, man. I just told him, I was like, nigga, I'm about to do an impromptu, a Thursday talk, impromptu style. So I told him he can get on if he could, but as a business owner and a granddaddy, I know that might not be as quick. So hopefully he's able to join before I get up off of here. But if not, man, just know that I speak for him as well. That we appreciate the support, appreciate the engagement. Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube, the Use Your Words podcast on YouTube, and when you take on an endeavor, man, where you just not, especially in a crowded space like podcasting, or whatever it may be, business wise, or business that you have an idea that it's nothing, it's not something new, but it is a market for it. But you have to bring what you believe that you are gifted to do in that space, and that's all we're doing. You know what I mean? So we appreciate the support. Best believe we do. But it's a lot, time wise, to sit back and reflect, sit back and think. If you have time, if you don't have time, try to find time to just every day at some point, find something to be grateful for, because right now you got to stay centered. You got to stay centered. Like, you can be pulled in all types of directions, man. And I don't know if it's an information thing. I just think growing up, for people in my generation, my age, you know what I'm saying, 80s babies, or before, we had a lot of information that was unknown to us. It was more word of mouth, or if you had access. I wasn't buying newspapers. I remember the newspapers. I don't know dispensers or whatever, where you had to put the quarters in, or 50 cent. That was around the time where we had telephone booths. You know what I mean? And we would try to check it to see if you could get a quarter out the telephone booth, out the telephone. But information now is just so much coming at you, and with AI, it's a lot to process. It's a lot to filter through. What's real, what's not. Speaking from a standpoint of a government employee and ex-military, military veteran, business owner, father, brother, son, uncle, cousin, like, those are things I can speak to from experience. And a lot of things that you see out here, it's just not what you see online, or information that you see. It's very easy to just stay surface level, because that's the easiest thing with the clickbait. But I encourage, and I encourage people to dig a little deeper on certain things. I had a conversation with some friends and some family, as far as the big talk a lot of talk that's going on in a lot of families and friend groups about dual citizenship. Um, so there's one thing is that you want to, if you want to really be serious about it, don't get all your information from social media. Don't get all your come on. I mean, that's not how you do it. The same way if you were serious about finding a physician, even if you got a referral, you call the physician or you look the physician up. An attorney the same way. You contact these places directly. Um, International, you can still make international calls. You know what I mean? Like that's a thing. You can call these countries. You can call Department of State and um, find out information that you may have seen online and just kind of verify it for yourself. Because it's a lot of misinformation going on for real. So if you watch the show or if you know me, I can talk about all kinds of stuff. So I'm not really, I really don't have an exact topic that I'm on. Just on here, just running my mouth for a few minutes, for real. Uh, but yeah, man, all is well. I hope everybody's doing well. Even if it's tough for you right now, just know, things will get better. Like, just don't quit. Because if you quit, then you can't win. You won't win. Nothing gets better if you quit. You know what I mean? So, for all my fellows out there, my fellow dads out there, just men holding it down out here, grown men trying to navigate what's going on. Whether you have deep pockets or you don't, life, man. Deep pockets just give you a whole nother situation, a whole different category of issues to deal with. And when you feel like you don't have it, you're dealing with that and not having it. And then when you have it, or you have more than what you feel like you have that you need to meet your needs or whatever, you have more, then that can even come with other other like concerns or other problems, so to speak. So there's no getting around it. There's no getting around it. It's all about um, cultivating um, cultivating yourself, being as knowledgeable as possible, and all that, getting understanding what your situation. Like I said, as men, that's one of the biggest things that I've learned as a man is that you got to understand, you got to be willing to dive deep and figure out where you're at, look at it with clear eyes, and take it for what it is and address it and try to find a solution going from there. Because you can't fool yourself. If you lie to yourself, then that's not helpful. So encouraging all my fellas, man. Y'all holding it down. A lot of people have been um, dealing with stuff. So job market is crazy. Whatever you're dealing with. 1 second. I'm trying to. Really ain't got nothing to say for real though. I'm just on here because I want to make sure that we just trying to put out content. We just trying to put out content, man. Trying to be diligent, man. But yeah. Oh, what's up, bro? Yeah. Um, on the sports front, yo, like we got Thursday night football tonight. The Niners and the Rams should be a good game. Shout out to all the Rams fans. I think I only know one, like personally. Shout out to all the Niners fans. I think I know a few of them. But yeah, that should be a good game. We talked about it on the live stream Monday that Bad Bunny. I joked about it on the live stream Monday that Bad Bunny is doing the Super Bowl, is slated to do the Super Bowl halftime. If you don't know, Bad Bunny is like a global superstar musically from Puerto Rico. He's Latino. So I was joking on this live stream Monday, like that ICE is going to have a whole suite at the Super Bowl. Just yesterday, I see something about, I think I saw it on Yahoo News or something like that, about ICE having a presence at the Super Bowl. They're like, oh, nobody's going to sit there and just be hanging out at the Super Bowl. We're going to be there. I'm like, told you. That's what we dealing with, man. Like, we in this is an unpetty president time. Like, this is the most pettiest time ever from a government standpoint, from a administration standpoint. Whether you voted for this administration or not, we all in it, and we all in it together. You know, how you managing it may be different from others, but we all in it. We all got to deal with what's going on. So that's why I say stay encouraged, man. It don't, people out here, people going through stuff. It's like almost like the United States of anxiety seem like, because people are just anxious and riled up, and you never know. You know, so it's calling for a different level of maturity from us to try to be as patient as possible, as patient as we can be, extend as much grace as we can. Because some of these folks just need a hug, honestly, bro. Like, a lot of folks out here just need a hug. They mean as hell for no reason. They mad, you know what I mean? They bitter, or they situation got them to where they just disillusioned, and they just kind of just feel like nothing is not worth being nice. Is they upset at your situation, that they think you're getting, a little more than them or doing a little better than them. We've seen that in the celebrity front. And for those who, like public figures. So it doesn't matter. Deep pockets, you know what I'm saying? Shallow pockets, empty, notoriety, no notoriety, famous, not famous. We see that you're still going to have things that you got to deal with. You're still going to have to be able to manage your emotions. Still going to have to manage your relationships and try to be a good steward, and be a good steward of your relationships. Be a good steward of the resources that you have. But being a good steward of relationships is important, because I feel like, at the end of the day, yeah, if you being a good steward of your relationships, when times get hard and you do need to be, you do need someone to lean on. You do need somebody who can be that friend, be that for you, be somebody for you to come just lift you up. If you've been a good steward in your relationships, man, you built that equity. I'm that type of friend. I try to encourage all my friends and try to be. What I do is definitely be honest. Like, when I have friends that are going through something, and they tell me, I always say, and they'll tell you, and they can speak to this. I'll do whatever I can. If there's anything I can do, I will do. Because you can't do what you can't do. You know what I mean? You can't, you know what I mean? So just try to make sure that we're being good stewards of our. I mean, I encourage you to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm not coming from no um, high and mighty standpoint at all. These are things, these are lessons because I've mismanaged relationships before as well, so friendships or whatever. But I've learned to be a great steward of people in my life who are meaningful and make sure that they know that. Um, so we try to be good stewards of our relationships, man. What else we talking about tonight? I wasn't gonna do too long. Again, the Usual Words Podshow. This is a live Thursday talk. Mighty Moolah. King Deuce is not on. And I know the energy, it don't seem like it's here, but yeah, we here. You know what I mean? Happy to be here, happy to, have this platform and really, really appreciative of everyone who's given our show a chance. You know what I mean? Just tuning in when we on, telling folks about it. We do have some things that we are working on and cultivating some relationships in our network so that we can have so that we can do more. You know what I'm saying? Always learning. You know what I mean? Trying to find out the best way to do it. Had to look at some mics and stuff like that. So things can be better because you want to be, again, with what you have, you want to try to just be a good steward of it. So that's what we're doing. And we just appreciate the support, man, for real. I've been trying to respond to a text for like the last 5 minutes I've been on it, but I just wonder how everybody is doing. So, if you jump in the chat, let me know what's up. Is there a topic you want to talk about real quick before we get off? We'll go to about 7:30, and then we'll jump up off of here. But yeah, Usual Words Podshow. Live stream Monday coming up this Monday. Monday coming. King Dukes will be on. We'll bring the stock picks and all that. Man, it's funny, y'all, because like it's funny, man. It's funny to do this again and be doing it with a whole different mindset as far as like podcasting and stuff like that, because it can make you feel kind of like you got to have a certain, to me, I feel like you got to have like a certain security as far as like getting on like solo, like going solo or whatever. But I was told by somebody told me like that's the thing you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to be willing to do it by yourself. So what up, boy? I should have told you to come on, man. But yeah, man, we maintain it, bro. Maintain it. Shout out to all the excuse me. Shout out to everybody working, man. Look, if you know somebody, I know somebody who's looking for a gig, who's looking for so if you got referrals, hit the chat with it. Hit the chat with the referrals so that we we can help. We can be a conduit for, helping people find maybe some leads. So if you got any leads on employment for people, if you're working somewhere and you know that maybe they have openings or something like that, let's do it. Let's do some grassroots. You know what I mean? And hopefully, that'll be a help for somebody. Somebody can see it. You never know. But yeah, the shutdown is what it is, man. I don't know. We were under a shutdown before under President Trump for about 35, almost 40 days. That was the longest shutdown I had been a part of. Prior to that one, I think 2015, maybe 2015, 2016. President Obama, there was a shutdown for maybe like a week or so, maybe about 2 weeks, something like that. So yeah, it's um I mean it's if you're a government employee, then you know what this is. Like if you worked for the government for longer than 5 years, um you worked on, and especially if you work for a while, up to like 10 or whatever years, then you've been under different administrations, and it doesn't matter the administration. It don't matter if it's Republican or Democrat administration or whatever. Um, Shutdowns, they're always like they're always loom around budgeting time, and so it can happen. You know what I mean? I learned kind of quick. Like, it's no need to sit and worry and stress yourself out and going to biting your fingernails off and pulling your hair out and all that other stuff, because it's part of the deal. Now I do think we're in a day and age now where there's been a lot of um, just a lot of maligning of and besmirching of like federal employees, even military. Um, and as a veteran, man, I hate to see that. I mean, I don't, more so than the government employee thing. There's I don't understand it. I really don't understand it. It's a whole sector of people who these are in career positions and that that operating functions and spaces in federal government that run the gambit of specialties, run a gambit of scientists, um, uh, lab workers, like investigators, um, just I mean, like regulators, and I know that we in such a capitalistic, you know, we operate in a capitalism, so the bottom line is important. At the same time, if you didn't know, I will tell you, if there was no certain regulations, imagine going to stores or going, to businesses, and they can pretty much do what they want to do. They can manufacture food any way they want to. They can manufacture cosmetics any way they want to, medical devices any way they want to, just to get it out and get their product out, and um, you know, whatever. Uh, People getting hurt, be damned. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like recalls, be damned. So um, regulations are needed, man. Like we not in the, you go to a lot of other countries, they're they don't have as strict regulations. Maybe some of these other countries, modernized countries, they don't have a lot of regulations, um, and they have a lot of issues because of that. Because if you give people the space, a lot of these businesses and corporations the space to operate, just to focus, all they gotta do is focus on their bottom line, and that's what they focus on without, you know, without being regulated in some sense or having some guidelines, um, no oversight. They would care. They're gonna cut corners. They're going to cut corners because it. Why would the goal is to make something for the least amount of money and be able to sell it to make them a better profit. So, I mean, hell, You got some companies that they would, without regulations, consider it this way. In the drug game, they would call it being you step on it. A lot of these companies would be stepping on their product, cutting it or whatever. You know, you wouldn't be getting as good a product because they just manufacturing so much of it, and there's no regulation, so wouldn't be as good. So, I understand that the federal government isn't where. It's just like any other sector, any other business sector. You have employees or people who aren't good at their job, and that's by and large like that's not the majority of employees for the federal government. I just don't. That's not what I see. That's not what I see. So, again, at the top of the show, I was talking about like information. Just get a lot of information nowadays, and a lot of it is, if you stay surface level with it, then you'll just take it for what it is. You take it for face value. And AI and all this, like, you don't, man, just take a few minutes to look deeper, especially if it's something that scares you or something that gives you pause and like, oh my God, is that real? Before you start sharing, you know what I'm saying? Just stuff like, bruh, like, come on. Like, I get it. I'm a conspiracy theorist to a certain extent myself. You know what I mean? And it's fun. It can be fun. But it goes from being kind of like fun and entertaining conspiracies to problematic when you start sharing it and as if and have people kind of change the way they go about doing things off of a clickbait headline or off of a brief social media video or whatever that try to link things together or whatever. And they do it that way because that's that dopamine effect. As soon as you see that, it's like, oh, it got your attention. Now you want to see the next video about that or whatever, instead of contacting an agency about, is this real, or going to that actual source. What they say, get it from the horse's mouth. Like, we don't do that. Most people don't do that. It's crazy. It really is. Misinformation is a big problem. And you got bots and you have other outside players in that. So let's just be mindful, man. Because I'm telling you, you share something goofy like that with me, I'm like, I might not even respond. Like, I'm not trying to, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm trying to think of one I got without without making somebody feel funny. But man, the Care Bears was, like, they were pushing the agenda or whatever. Like, man, everybody got an agenda. I get it. And I'm not telling you, I think people should be mindful of that, especially with children. Children are impressionable. How about we pick up some books? Because they're going to burn those at some point. That's what's going to happen. Best believe that's the next step. If they can, because they can get you with social media, they can get you with a video, and they know that you'll believe what you see instead of going and looking it up for yourself. You don't need books. You don't need history. You're seeing it. You're seeing it now. There are groups and there are, people who believe that should be, if they can control that, then, that's power. That is power for sure. So, I press on my daughters about reading, man. I've had to, it's me pressing them has been a preaching to myself type thing, to read more, to get off of social media sometimes, limit my time on it. Of course, with being in a media space, like you do. There's usefulness of it. I mean, it's very entertaining. Like let's not lie to ourselves. Like I I'm I'm like laughing all the time when I'm on social media. It's hilarious. And then at the same time, you go from one thing or post or reel or whatever that is funny. Then the next thing you know, you're looking at one that is triggering your emotions and make you kind of emotional or make you trying to get a tear out you. Then the next one got your face frowned up because it make you angry. So what I mean, we gotta try to do better, man. But at the Usual Words Pod Show, we just talk about it. We just try to use our words, talk about it. So you can come here. This is a safe space. This is a safe space. The Usual Words Pod Show is a safe space. Come on here. We bring anybody on to be real with you. Like I don't care where you stand politically or anything. So because that ain't what we ain't on that no way. You know what I mean? Um, I got what I stand on principle wise and moral compass wise and belief wise, and I'm willing to have a conversation with anybody about that. Reasonable, reasonable conversations. Yeah, but y'all, the information that you get, double check. You know what I mean? Like, let's just make sure we. Otherwise, before you share it or before you try to get somebody else riled up and some rage bait or whatever, like, is this even real? I've had people share videos with me, and I'm like, this ain't real. There was a video of this cop who, an undercover cop or something like that, it was going around on Instagram and on social media. I forgot what it was. Dang, I should have brought it up so I could play the clip. It was about a cop or something who was arrested in a tax office, and the video looked real, but if you pay attention to it, it's like you can see the AI in it. You can see the AI in it if you looking at it like in whatever, and not just kind of like if you actually paying attention. And then I do a quick Google search, like, oh, is there a such and such incident that happened with it? No, it'll tell you straight up, like, nah, this that wasn't real. That was, there wasn't no incident like that happened. But how many people do that before they hit that share or send it to, what I'm saying, whoever? Like, bro, if it ain't funny for real, I ain't trying to. I got enough conspiracies in my mind to flush out or to try to, look into or research to deal with than to have AI conspiracies or things that are absolutely bogus sent to me and being like given to me and share with me or whatever. But if it's funny, hey, like me and the homies, man, we share back reels. Me and some family members, we share reels. I mean, they had you in tears, laughing. So, dang, I really didn't want nothing. Again, this is the Usual Words Pod Show, just a live Thursday talk. Didn't want nothing, just kind of rambling, but I wanted to really just, like, the main point was just to check in, man. Just checking in. I mean, check on your folk. Check on the people that you say you love, that you say you care about. You know what I mean? Make sure they good. Even if it's just, hey, I'm just checking in. You good? Okay, cool. That's it. You gotta be no more than that. You know what I mean? And if because some people you'll find out it's like, oh shoot, it's like they dying to talk about something, or they want to, you know, they need somebody to talk to, or they needed some, you know, they needed that, they needed the encouragement, they needed you just to reach out or whatever. And so check on your people, man. Um, it don't cost nothing. You know what I mean? What up, man? What up with it? What up with it? What up? Um, yeah, man. So, hey, man, I love my friend, man. I love my friends, man. My family, bro. Like, niggas been there for me, bro. Real. In a real way. They know who they are, man. Borrow, you one of them, dog. Chat, for sure. Like, I am, I am a, uh, it's hard. It's hard for me. It pains me if I have to like not deal with somebody no more. You know what I mean? Like if they kind of like put you in a position where you cannot deal with them no more. Because a lot of people like that, they'll take that as like, oh, you don't love them or you ain't, oh, something. Like, nah, man, come on, man. Like, you know, it's not like that, and it pains you to have to do that. But you know, sometimes you really have to. You really have to. Um, and you know, sometimes they, you know, time reveals and time will give people like clarity on certain things, and they're like, oh man, I was tripping. I was tripping. And even if they don't, it is what it is. It is what it is. So I am a believer of, you know, the golden rule, and I am like, be good to yourself, man. Be good to others for real. When you see somebody who is just mean to everybody, just like what's wrong? Like what happened? Like why? Like what's going on? You know what I mean? Like why are you so why are you so sour? Why the long face? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I get it. Life is tough, but why? You know, it's not gonna make it better to treat people crazy because you going through it. Because everybody's not gonna be able to like have that empathy. Everybody's not gonna be able to do that. Maybe they should, but everybody's not gonna be able to do that. So we gotta be regulators of our emotions, man. Like if I'm going through something, that's why certain things it's like I'm not going to deal with certain people who will put me in a certain space to bring negativity, especially because it can affect other relationships. It's like getting a crazy call, or like if you arguing with your man or your girl or whatever, or your wife or your husband right before you going into work or whatever. Like you got to woosah, you got to figure it out. Otherwise, you can go in there with a, you know what I'm saying, like crazy attitude. Gotta be able to regulate. And somebody who's doing that always and doesn't consider the fact of like um the timing of things, and they just don't care. You know, start something right before whatever, right before you got to do something important. But if it doesn't concern them or it doesn't involve them, then they don't care. Those type of people, you gotta, hey man, that's toxic. That is toxic. And I get it. People miss it. And nobody's perfect, and there's some people who done it and then they realize, my bad. Like, okay, I get it. You bring it to their attention, they realize, oh, my bad. I shouldn't have. I could have waited, or I could have, you know, saying we could have tabled this until you were done with what you had to do, or you know, after we had our plans or whatever, and we mature enough to say, you know what, this ain't. Let's look at this. Do we want to ruin our day or ruin what we got planned over this. If it's not something that is like reaches the level of like we need to handle this and forget everything else. We got to handle this right now. If it don't rise to that level, man, come on. So you gotta protect your energy, man. Protect how you in a loving way. You can do it in a loving way too. Like, nah, I'm just not having that. I'm not doing that right now. I'm not gonna have that conversation right now. And there are people out there who will disagree and say, well, that's avoidance or whatever. It's like, nah, it's really not. I don't want to avoid. If I'm avoiding the conversation, it's one or two things. It's a bad time. I'm in the middle of a midst of trying to accomplish something or needing to do something, or two, it's not being productive right now, or it's too hot because and level head is not being level headed or reasonable. Then we ain't, let's let cooler heads prevail. Come back to this. And if the other person can't see that, then sometimes that's on them. That's on them, man. That's how I look at it. That's on them. Y'all, I'm sure that I had somebody disagree with me, but whatever. It's cool. Hey man, it's cool. For sure, bro. For sure, Juan. What's going on with DC, man? The Commanders got, man, how y'all come to Atlanta and let the Falcons beat y'all, bro? Man, I was rooting for y'all, man. I was rooting for the Commanders, dog. I'm not no Falcons fan, even though I live in Atlanta. Shout out to Atlanta. Falcons games are amazing, but I do not like. I'm not a Falcons fan, but Falcons games are cool. NBA season about to kick up, man. Gonna hit some Hawks games this year, man. Get the girls, me and the girls get to some Hawks games. Didn't get to no WNBA games and nothing like that. Be all right. Y'all didn't either, so don't judge me. If you went to a WNBA game, tell me what game you went to. Hit me in the chat and tell me what game you went to. And then you can have maybe a little bit of judgment. The fact that I am a sports fan, a huge basketball fan, and I have not made efforts to get to a WNBA game at all. But if you haven't been to one, shut up. Y'all ain't going either. You know what I'm saying? Most of y'all wouldn't go with free tickets. So, but definitely gotta get to some Hawks games this year, man. For sure. Shout out to all our Facebook friends, man, who have businesses. We will be doing another the Usual Words podcast, Usual Words Pod show, Business Spotlight. Not this Monday coming. Well, maybe this Monday coming, man. Me and King Duke's gonna talk about it. But we will have another Business Spotlight that we'll do definitely for this month, for October. It's October already, bro. That is crazy. That's crazy. I'm seeing all the Halloween stuff. Y'all let y'all kids dress up like monsters. Y'all let y'all kids dress up like little demons, little witches, and warlocks, ghosts and goblins. Hey man, I believe this is where I stand with, and I'm a believer, right? I believe I've let my girls know because they're kids, and when I was a child, what they say, when I was a child, I act like a child, I spoke like a child, you know what I mean? Until I was an adult and I put away childish things. They're children, man. I just give them, there are parameters on this whole costume and the whole thing of Halloween. Me myself, I'm just not into the whole like spirit thing. I'm not a big fan of like those type of scary movies. um what's the name of The Conjuring and movies like that. Nah, man, y'all can have that, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, I messed around and seen. I didn't even. I don't know why, but I went to see Annabelle one time when it came out. But I know why. But I went to see Annabelle. Man, I had to repent after I saw that movie, man. Cause that ain't for me, man. That stuff right there, that ain't for me. I don't like that type of stuff. So I grew up with like the Freddy's, the Freddy Kruegers, and the Friday the 13th and the Michael Myers and those type of characters, man. So and then now I'm more of a thriller fan, sci-fi. Like I love the Aliens and Predators franchises. I just do. It's not scary to me. Wasn't even scared when I saw them when I was younger. Like they weren't scared. They were just like, what I'm saying. Um, I like sci-fi stuff like that. But when it comes to my girls, me and their mom, I've always said like I don't I don't believe in good witches and bad witches. We don't. I don't let them engage in that. You're not dressing up like no witch. I don't care if she's a good witch or whatever. Yeah, they've seen the Wizard of Oz, they've seen the Wiz, and they've seen Wicked or whatever. And yet, I still have you know, as far as say, and still have to make sure that it is put in parameters that they understand. Like certain things just don't. I'm not with it. I'm old school that way. But as far as dressing up like a princess or, you know, I don't make them dress up as Bible characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, they go to school. Who you are? Oh, I'm Ruth. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm Mary and stuff like that. Like, I ain't making them do that. You know what I mean? They dress up like little characters. You know what I'm saying? They little fun characters, cartoons or whatever. Wonder Woman or whatever. So we don't do raunchy and we don't do scary. That's what I told them. We don't do that. And when they get older, hopefully they won't. But we don't do. Nah, we ain't going that. But I'm not gonna not allow them to be children. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I have influence I know that they know, like we don't do that. We ain't dressing up as witches and warlocks or ghosts and goblins and all that stuff. Like you ain't doing that. You know what I mean? Um, my my oldest asked about being Wednesday, and y'all know Wednesday from the Addams Family because they've seen the show, and I'm like, I don't know, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Wednesday, she dark. Wednesday dark. Wednesday is a dark little chick, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Because this ain't the black and white Wednesday. This ain't the old school Adams Family Wednesday. Even then, Wednesday was a dark little heifer, man. That little heifer bad. She a little evil little chick, bro. She like the bad seed. Um, so no, I don't know about it. I don't think, yeah, nah. I tell them to find another character. You know what I'm saying? We just not, it's not doing that. So yeah, we got Halloween. We're in October. I'm starting to see, of course, all the pumpkin spice, all y'all pumpkin spice lovers and all those type of smells and pumpkin spice coffee and stuff like that. Like shout out to you, but nah man. Those smells, ugh. Can't do it. It's too much, man. It's too much. They too heavy. It's too much, man. All that. And who eat pumpkin pie? Y'all eating pumpkin pie? See, that's a problem right there too. But hey, teachers on all of us with pumpkin pie. I'm not a big fan of like the pumpkin spices and or the pumpkin um, taste. None of that. It's like bananas for me. Like I don't like banana taste and I don't like banana flavor nothing. I like banana pudding, but I don't like the bananas in it. That make it just pudding with the cookies. Just give me the pudding and the cookies. I don't want the bananas. But I still want you to call it banana pudding though. For some reason, that's crazy. But I know it's crazy. But I just don't like I don't like bananas like that, man. And you know, it's already tough to eat one as a man. You know, you got to cut it up. You know what I mean? Eat it like peanuts or like popcorn or something like that. You know what I mean? You ain't peeling no banana and come on. That's a big pause. So no, no pumpkin spice stuff. Um October, kids will be on fall break. So it's getting close, man. I know a lot of people are, you know, starting to get the holiday itch, and we're gonna end it. But I do want to again, man, just end on what I was starting off with. Let's find a way to be encouraged, encourage somebody else, um, uplift somebody, man, because you never know what folks going through. A lot of people out here with smiles on their faces and going through it internally or going through it behind the scenes. So they just putting on a good face. You know what I mean? And so um, let's try to be mindful of that. Be patient. Show people some grace. Holiday season is tough for a lot of people. Um, whether it's, you know, history of it, or, you know, certain loved ones aren't around anymore, and it makes it tough during the holiday season. The first year that after my dad passed, and Thanksgiving and like Christmas were like, my dad was like a different he was like a different man during those times. He didn't turn to Santa Claus as far as like yeah, he ain't turning to Santa Claus like gift giving or nothing, like oh, he about to go buy at the store. No, that wasn't it. But as far as his spirit, man, he loved that time. He would cook certain things, and we would have play Monopoly on Christmas Eve and stuff. We had certain traditions and Thanksgivings and stuff like that. I just saw a different man out of my dad around that the holiday season. So it's always you know, it's it was difficult the first couple of years, and but it always makes me, you know, think of that, you know, not with him passing, with him not being here, it makes me think of that all every holiday season once we start getting into Thanksgiving and stuff, man. So, and it's important to me too. Like Christmas is my Christmas season, and these holiday Christmas is probably like my favorite holiday. Um, so you know, but a lot of people, it brings anxiety for them. It brings, you know, some stress because, you know, what you want to do for people, or getting things, and you see, I'll start seeing all the commercials and all the things that you can buy and whatever. And sometimes you know, you may not be able to, but you know, that's why you gotta be a good steward of those relationships, because that's what that's what matters. Time and the relationships that we have. Those are the most meaningful things in life to me, that I believe are the most meaningful things in life. Not to say money is not important, because shoot, I mean, hey, you can do a lot of great things. Money allows you to do a lot of great things with those people that you love. You know what I mean, and do things for those people that you love. So absolutely important. But as far as value, what I value most is my relationships, man. The relationships that I've cultivated with close friends and family, the friends that are family, and you know, close friends, man. So let's do that. It's October again. The Usual Words Pod Show, Mighty Moolah. This is just a live Thursday talk. I'm gonna keep it up. I'm probably gonna chop it up a little bit, but I didn't think I was gonna go this long. I didn't think I was gonna go this hour, a whole hour long. But and it's just on my heart to do it. Just wanted to do something. Again, get that content out there. You know what I'm saying? Um, and King Deuce will be back. We'll be back on, of course, for our live stream Monday. Yeah, man. I pray for our country, man. Pray for. Make sure you keep your friends and family in your prayers, man. You never know what folks going through. I appreciate those who if you pray for me, I appreciate it, man. I can feel it. I believe I can feel it. You know, but all is well, man. Like I won't complain. You know what I mean? Like I said, whether your pockets deep or they shallow, you're gonna have things to deal with, regardless. Regardless. Does not skip over anybody. It does not escape anyone. Life is gonna happen. You know what I mean? And things in life will happen. So, but you can stand the test of times, keep the faith, you know, man. Steward your relationships. Yo, again, follow the Usual Words Podshow on Facebook, the Usual Words podcast on our YouTube, and on IG, Usual Words Podcast, Usual Words Podcast on IG. We put a lot of our clips, like some reels on there from our streams, from our live stream Mondays are on there. But it's difficult to go to like live stream from IG. It's just different. They got some regulations. IG done put me in timeout a couple times. And I'm like, for what? I don't even know. I made a comment one time. I put a comment on somebody's post. It wasn't no cussing in it, nothing like that. They was like, this goes against Instagram's guidelines or whatever. I'm like, did you read the actual post? Like, cause they went off or whatever, and I just like comment on that. It wasn't even that crazy. I didn't threaten nobody, but it said it was bullying. I'm like, what the hell? So, man, IG is funny, bro. IG is funny, but yeah, appreciate the support. All the Usual Words gang. I don't know what we call y'all. Wordsmiths, whatever. We'll figure out something once we get to that level. Somebody come up with something. But all supporters of the Usual Words Pod Show and those who tune in and engage and follow, we appreciate it, man. You King Deuce, we appreciate it, man. We appreciate everybody that we've had come on. We're gonna have many more conversations and guests on and just get into it. Y'all suggest topics. Send us some topics you want to talk about or that you would like to see us get into, maybe, or if you want to come on and use your words on those topics, let's do it. You know what I mean? Let's do it. This is that type of platform, man. We it's community. You know what I mean? So let's get to it. Appreciate y'all, man. I know I was rambling, but that's how I do. If you know me, like it's a little different, maybe in person, but I know I was rambling a little bit, but I mean what I say. unless I say I'm kidding, like I mean what I say, man. Like, yeah, let's hey man, be mindful, folk out here, because I would hate to see somebody get hurt because you just don't know what folk going through, man. Be vigilant. You know what I mean? And dig deeper when you see something online or on social media that triggers you and it's supposed to be like information of the government is such and such, or this or that, da, 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 da. Or if you do this, or if you know, I don't know, whatever. Look into it a little deeper, just a little deeper, just to see. You be like, dang, they just, it's just entertainment purposes rather than instituting it immediately into your daily life or sharing it as if it's, some type of gospel or whatever. So either way, man, y'all be good to yourself, be good to others. Appreciate y'all, man. From me, King Dukes, man. That's my dog, man. Um, we got some things that's happening. I promise you. But things take time to make sure that they are the right situation, and when it comes to fruition, certain things that we are working on, it'll be right. You know what I mean? We believe, we pray, and that it'll be right situation, man. So y'all stay up. The Usual Words Pod Show, just a live Thursday talk. Appreciate you. From me, Mighty Moolah, and King Dukes. We'll see y'all on Monday for the Usual Words Pod Show live stream, Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You already know. Usual Words Pod Show. Yeah.